Hey guys, this is Coach Joe coming to you from inside the Holy Cronut, and today I'm bringing you the CWL Rising Week 5 matchup of the Holy Cronut versus Fortas LTU. And it was a close match. The Cronuts win 86 to 85 with the tiebreaker as well, and we moved to 4-1 on the season. It was again just another one of those matches that is entirely the reason why we're doing league play in the first place. Very, very close matchup. Either clan could have won. We outplayed them at 9v9. We went 15 for 24. They were 15 for 29. So we had a lot more scouts than they did, which really came into play late in the war. Because of the percentage differences, they were forced to go a couple of different ways at the end. They ended up dipping all 8 hits. This was a 4-11-15 breakdown. They went 8 for 8. We went 7 for 7. On the hit ups, they were 4 for 16. We were 3 for 10, so not a great showing at hit ups by either clan. But because we missed one at the end, we ended up going 11v11 to try and get the guaranteed double, which was going to give us the star and the victory, and try to stretch the attack along for a triple. And that actually worked out. So we get the victory with an extra 10v10. We got 3, they got 2, and that one star made the difference. We had the 11v11 triple, but that just flip-flopped the a dip and corresponding hit up into instead an 11v11 triple and a 10v10 double. So the extra 10v10 really is what gave us the stars, and the 11v11 is what gave us the percent. So either way, we win the match. And now I'd like to bring on my guest host for this recap, Chad. He's at Town Hall 9 in the Holy Cronut. He also does Little 10, and I have a feeling we're going to end up working him into the match roster very shortly here. How you doing tonight, Chad?
Hey Joe, how's it going? I'm doing well. This war was pretty intense down to the wire. I think everything went pretty well, and I think that's what helped us get the win.
Yeah, we had a lot of good late attacks. You know, they saved a huge chunk of attacks for the last 2 hours, and still a lot of them for the last hour. And I don't know if their rushing hurt them a little bit or what. But both clans did really well, and yeah, it could have gone either way. We had one Town Hall 11 base that I think they ended up getting on the 9th try that happened with about 5 minutes left in the war. So that was pretty intense.
Definitely an intense war. More of the intense wars I think we've had in some time.
Yeah, and almost all of them have been really close. So that's saying something. Okay, so on to the first hit. We're going to recap. This is Indian Drake, also known as Kryptonite, with a 9v9 clean triple using a shattered hobo attack. And the thing that kind of sets this attack apart from most other attacks like it is that he doesn't use a jump.
Yeah, which is really interesting. But again, I think comes down to planning. As this is a cleanup, he knew exactly what he wanted to do. As you'll see, with him funneling in, starting with the baby drag and setting up his wizards.
Right, I mean, because adding the jump to this probably wouldn't have given him a whole lot more value. I mean, so he comes into this compartment, and he's got the bowlers, he's got a rage, and he's taken out, 2 wizard towers, 2 expos, the queen, and the CC. That's pretty good value for one spell.
It's really good value. I mean, I guess most people would bring the jump more because they want to get more value out of the kill squad, but I mean, you don't really need it because as you'll see coming up with his hogs, it comes. He has a clear path where he wants to be, and he has 3 hail spells, which is more than enough.
He set up that path. The golem, I don't know if he had any clue that was going to walk out like that toward the Tesla, but it does help those bowlers take out the bottom 2 Teslas there. Now coming into the third, and that golem's still tanking for the bowlers.
Yeah, usually people will get a little concerned when your golem and some bowlers start walking, but in this case, it's actually a really good thing here.
Well, and they're taking out internal buildings, keeping the hogs from splitting up, and he's going to end up swagging a heel.
And then the queen just keeps going. She's gonna get knocked out here. But I mean, he
Yeah,
has so many hogs alive. It's just a really good hit.
yeah. If he used the poison on the king, I think it would have slowed him down enough that the queen would have gotten him. But I mean, it doesn't matter. So very good attack, and I'd say that's a very unique attack. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, he's a really good attacker.
Speaking of unique, we've got Kosiosi Yesu here again, doing a Queen Walk mass minion. And, I feel like it probably even could have gone better than it does, but really interesting hit.
Yeah, it's scary. It's something I wouldn't try doing. It's why I think we have such a very good clan here, that we have so many unique and interesting ideas that people just execute. I mean, it's scary. I mean, 49 minions. I mean, that's just intense. That's scary.
Yeah. I mean, these recaps that I do, I could probably show like 10 hits every war just because the uniqueness of all of them is so interesting. But, this is one of those attacks where, first of all, it's fresh. I mean, this was like in the first 20 minutes of the war. He's hitting this fresh with this attack, which means he identified it immediately. And how did he identify it? Well, look at the value the queen's getting. Right into 3 wizard towers.
Yeah, and that's I believe that's basically your main concern is your wizard towers, because that's what's going to blow up your minions outside of some red bombs. But she definitely does her job here. I think he probably wanted to take out that expo, but I mean, as you're gonna see, this attack just goes more. I think better than he thought, but as you said, it could have went better.
Right.
Which is
Yeah, well, so he gets his queen walk into 3 wizard towers, and those are kind of the biggest thing when we're talking about mass minion, because the wizard towers just smoke them. But he also gets 2 air defenses, using the king to kind of swing around that one corner. And then, so, what's next? What's he got left to do? Well, it's that wizard tower, the air defenses, and the queen. But, he charges in here with a hound and some loons, and with the rage, that queen is just done. And so now it's just a matter of, got to hurry into the wizard tower in the last air defense. But the loons actually tank for the wizard tower so that the minions can scoot on by.
and then it's just a cleanup from there, and it's game over from there. And when I saw this, I just the first thing I thought of was build a whole attack with all the minions,
Right.
and they're all still alive. It's amazing.
Yeah, one red bomb in that corner, I don't even think gets it, because I don't think it would have been able to hit all of them unless it was just like a perfect little bomb. The next hit we're going to show is actually a 10v10 triple by Sukudi. And this is kind of the new fad, the new meta that's popped up. And it's the Falcon Punch. And Chad, why don't you describe what that is a little bit?
Yeah, so the Falcon Punch, I guess you could say it's almost like a bitch attack, but better. Reason being is, even on a bad attack, you're still gonna get high value out of it, a high value 2-star that is. And what people want to do here is they want to get a funnel for the Valks, and that's gonna be key. If you don't get a good funnel with the Valks, they're gonna end up walking, and then they're just gonna go around the entire base. And then it's just the likelihood of getting a 3-star is just not going to happen. So usually what you want to try doing is you want to get a queen walk on one side, and you want to funnel with maybe a couple bowlers, or maybe even just a Sui type of thing with your heroes. Other people also just like getting their queen up the middle with your Valks, depending upon how heavy the CC is, and also how the center may be with how many exterior or interior walls there are.
Right, so it kind of depends on where the hit points are, right? Because if the hit points are in the core, meaning like storages and town hall and things like that, the Valks will rip through that. Like 13 Valks in a rage, they're gonna rip through the hit points. But if it's on the corners where you're trying to funnel, if you don't get enough of a push there to actually make the funnel happen, the Valks will end up going after that instead.
Right, and that's what's key too, as far as bringing some cleanup loons or hogs. But as long as the focal point of it is your funnel, that's going to be the hardest thing about this attack. Once you get your funnel and they start going in the middle, It's kind of hard to to really feel this attack. It may bring back the Golem CC. It's something that I think it's been talked about and thought about.
I don't
You
know.
know,
See, personally, I don't know what that would do, because I mean, you throw a heal on it, whoop-de-doo, it's a golem. He's dead in 4 seconds with the rage.
that's true. That's true. It's going to be interesting about how people are going to set up bases with this attack.
Yeah, so let's take a look here. And you'd think that a baby dragon CC would be the thing that would stop this. It at least must force them to get the queen to go inside if it's a baby dragon, right? Well,
Yeah, and that's where people think where you have to bring in the queen, but you're gonna see where there's a baby coming out of the CC and it does nothing. I mean, and
yeah.
it's up I think throughout almost the entire
Well,
attack.
the poison does end up getting it on the tail end. But so the south funnel, he used a haste, but a really cheap funnel, 2 loons and 2 boulders, and there we go. That funnel on the south end's done. The queen walk side of the funnel's pretty easy. There's nothing shooting at her. She's just going to take that out. And now as she's taking out that storage, there's nowhere for the Valks to go except in the base. Don't need any jumps. You've got raged Valks.
Yeah, one whirlwind and that's it.
There they go. And it's like having extra spells with this attack, because since you don't need a jump, they're just chewing through walls. 3 rage, 2 heals. And that's going to cover their entire push.
Exactly, and then they're directed right towards the heroes, so they just chew them up, which is why you don't necessarily need the queen to go inside as well.
Yeah, and as you see, that baby dragon did nothing. And, he was planned all along. He wasn't going to get these outer buildings here, but they weren't going to distract the Valks anyway because of that little channel. So thanks to the base builder for that, I guess. And so he's just going to clean it up with some loons. And, bing, bang, boom, they're all gone.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun attack, especially when it goes well. It's really fun to see these Valks go to work. I remember a couple seasons ago, Valks were very very interesting, and they did good, and I just love them. I always love to see them
Well,
in the game.
the big problem with Valks is always trying to get their pathing. They kind of do what they want, but looking at this base, you knew where they were going to go. The queen was eating out the only corner where they might have strayed, because again, that channel on the right side of the base was going to keep them in the center as long as the queen kept them there, and of course she did.
Absolutely, it's all about the path.
Yeah. So just another really good hit. The last hit we're going to show is me with an 11v11 triple. This was at the very end of the war. I probably hit attack with like 2 minutes left. We spent the whole war not intending to go 11v11, and again, they saved so many hits for the very end of the war that we really weren't sure where they were going to end up. They had the one hit up they were struggling on, so we were tied 3-3 on hit ups. We had one extra 10v10 triple, and so we were wondering, are they going to try to triple it to catch up on that 10v10 star? Are they going to keep trying it? We didn't quite know what was going to happen. When we got down to really what was left, we had 3 hit-ups done, 1 base with a 1-star, and then we had 2 Town Hall 10s left with 2 Town Hall 11 hits left to go. Meanwhile, on their side, they got the last hit up, so they had all 4 of them, and they were down by the 10v10 triple. And we said, what's going to get us the most stars? Of course, 11v11 triple would get it, but even if I just doubled, we get 1 star, which is exactly what I would have gotten on the dip anyway. So we decided, let's just use the hit up plan we've been trying to use that wasn't working. We'll use that, we'll get the double because it's Town Hall 11 troops, and then if I triple it, great. And that had the advantage of also giving us a lot more percentage than the something like 16% or something that was left on that last base. And so anybody looking at this video to try and get a hit up idea, we tried this like 4 times and it didn't work. So maybe try something else. But anyway, start the queen walk up there. Queen tanks for that archer tower. Wizard's going to complete the funnel because there's nothing on him. That rage was just being super safe because that's what the hit up plan did. And so I was, again, just wanted to make sure I got the double, so I wasn't going to take any risks, which is why I took 8 wall breakers to try to get through a wall where there's no little bombs and no chance of them dying. But I said I'm not losing this on a wall breaker fail because of the skeleton trap or some other nonsense. So I took them and dropped them in 2 sets, and they actually ended up breaking a second layer. That wasn't at all, but this went exactly according to plan, except for that bonus wall break. Got a little bowler bomb here with the raged and warden invincibility bowlers. And then I throw a little baby dragon in over here on the bottom left to take out that wizard tower because I didn't want him sniping anything. And now it's just use the rages and blow up as much as I can. And right here is where I knew it was a triple. With that last rage in my pocket, I knew, kaboom, there goes everything that's left. And my troops are just going to exit and then clean the rest of the base. So I'm happy with it. This attack is kind of boring, I guess, because it's a little bit of a spam, but as I've been trying to show, I put some thought into this.
Some thought. I mean, watching this with about 8 other clanmates, I think we all had some mixed feelings on it because we weren't sure how well it went. But what was the possibilities that you thought it was going to triple beforehand?
So again, we didn't know what was going to happen. They had so many attacks left in the last hour. For all I knew, they were going to 10v10 triple 3 times as it came to a close. And we would need an 11v11 just to tie and then see where percentage ended up. So the plan was this army and whether or not I was bringing a jump was going to really tell, if I thought I needed the triple, I was going to not bring a jump and just let my troops enter the same spot, but then ring around instead of entering the town hall. That jump was going to become a rage or a heal. I hadn't really decided. But you can see that U-shaped channel, they would have just swung around the whole base and smashed right through everything. The problem is they would have been ending on the town hall. And so if I needed the triple, I don't care when the town hall goes down.
Right.
But if I need a double, I need to get to the core. So at the end there, Mike was dipping, and I knew Mike star plus 1 star, we win. So I might as well just bring the jump and get to the core. And, as you could see by the way things pathed, that was going to the core. It was a lot harder on the hit-up plans getting them to the core, just because of the troop levels and everything. The bombs mean a lot more. You don't have a warden.
Right, the warden ability, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm happy with it. I don't get to show my replays all too often because I don't play Town Hall 10. And I don't play... Well, I do hit-ups, which I don't like showing when I play Town Hall 10, and I don't play Town Hall 9. So anyway, that's the recap. Chad, do you have any final thoughts?
I mean, overall, I think we're just getting stronger and stronger as a clan. I think this war in particular just shows how much planning we actually put into it. And I think we're just becoming stronger. I don't think we've even showed our best, and I think you're gonna actually probably see a little bit more to 3-star 11v11s at the end of the day. But I'm happy and I'm excited about how everything has fallen. And I think we're gonna go a long way, and I can't wait.
Yeah. We have a great clan. I love our clan. I love the effort that everybody puts in, planning together and everything. It's great. It's been a really fun season, and I think you're right. We're getting better every week, and come the tail end of the season, everybody else better watch out.
Absolutely, so, can't wait.
All right, so I want to thank everybody for watching, and see you next week.
Absolutely. See you, Joe.
When you dip fail, the whole world turns gray. You may feel exhausted, hopeless, and anxious. Whatever you do, you feel lonely, and you don't enjoy the things you once loved. You lose your appetite, and things just don't feel like they used to. These are symptoms of dip fail depression, a medical condition affecting clashers who can't triple despite massively superior troops, spells, and heroes. Many of us have experienced it, including me. But like many clashers, I am a dip fail depression survivor. And I survived with help from Failoft, the #1 prescribed brand of its kind. You don't need to be depressed about your dip fails anymore. Failoff, showing you the light of the world.